Hello and welcome to another brand new episode of New Music, New Jersey. And I'm your host, Apples. And this evening we are in South Plainfield, New Jersey, where we will be interviewing Mr. Nuff Starr himself, and he's from Paterson, New Jersey. So we want to get into his album that we have here, which has some really great stuff on it. So you guys, please stay tuned. And again, you're tuning into New Music, New Jersey. I'm your host, Apple.
About how things would be if I could see this world, how beautiful this it could be. The kids play and we make way for them to have dreams and things and give praise. It's so different now from back in the days. Things change, now what's happening? Let's go back to them days.
Hey you guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of New Music, New Jersey. And I am your host, Apples. And tonight we are in South Plainfield, New Jersey, with rap artist Nuff Starr, and he's from Paterson, New Jersey. He is a rap artist. So, without further ado, Mr. Nuff Starr.
Mr. Nuff Starr in the building.
Yes, it is a pleasure meeting you, and thank you so much for agreeing to be on our show.
Definitely, I was definitely excited about it. You know what I mean? Anything repping New Jersey, the tri-state, I'm always there.
Okay. Now, so where did you get the name Nuff Starr from? Can we just start with that?
See, when I was younger, about the age 5, there was a movie out called The Last Dragon.
Oh, my favorite.
This dude named Nuff, he had the glow and all that.
Yeah.
So my grandmother, she's from down south. She every time, instead of her saying, "Oh, for sure," that's why she would say Nuff. You know what I'm saying? Like in her conversation. So I kind of wanted to be called that, because I really liked that movie, and it was really exciting to me. So I started calling myself Nuff with a Z. My dad side of the family is like Native descent, Native American, so he would call me Morning Star, meaning the sun. So my name was like Nuff Morning Star, which was like this long. It's like as I evolved as an artist growing up, I just cut that in half. Instead of being Nuff Morning Star, I became Nuff Starr.
Wow. I totally wouldn't have gotten that from that, but that is an all-time favorite of mine as well. And I did mention that Nuff Starr is from Paterson, New Jersey, but is that where you were also born and raised?
Born and raised. I also I spent like every summer in North Carolina growing up. Raleigh, North Carolina, Nashville, Rocky Mount, Roanoke Rapids. So that South root always stayed with me. Both sides of my family were from the South. They both moved to New Jersey and New York. And I went to school and grew up in Palestine, New Jerusalem, Paterson, New Jersey. You know what I mean? That's my hometown.
Okay. And when at the age did you become a rap artist?
Well, I started rapping at the age of 5. I started writing my own music probably around 8 years old. And I never wanted to be nothing else but a performer. You feel me? Like from the jump, like since a little kid, that's all I wanted to do. I didn't want to be a firefighter or a lawyer. I always wanted to entertain people. So at the same time I started writing, like 5, I was dancing. And it got to the point in my city where I was this great dancer. People didn't want to hear me do music, they just wanted to see me dance.
Oh, wow.
And by the time I was around 17, 18, I was just like, I'm not dancing no more, I'm just rapping and writing music. But, you know, along with that, I started DJing probably like the age of 11. And then my first turntable was like XL BD10s. And we used to go garbage night, we used to go to the rich town and dig through their trash and take old receivers and build equipment. And so I've been putting together like makeshift studios since 9, 10 years old, you know what I mean? Like, always with it.
Now, I personally didn't know that you used to be a dancer.
Yeah.
What kind of dancer, what kind of music were you?
Everything from hip-hop, house, I could tap, you know what I mean, jazz and all that. And I'm a phenomenal dancer still. Like Chris Brown status, I just don't do it.
Oh,
you know?
wow.
I don't like to sweat now. I'm getting too old for that.
So is it, excuse me guys, so is it definitely over? Is it a wrap with the dancing, or can we actually...
When y'all see me at the Grammys, repping Jersey, then definitely lights, camera, action.
Alright.
You know what I mean? Definitely that.
Amen to that. And speaking of the Grammys, who have you actually got a chance to work with in industry? Any tours? Have you ever been able to get in touch with any of the other rap celebrities?
I've been around so many. I came from the camp which Just Blaze came from.
Oh.
You know what I mean? One of the biggest producers in the game right now. Like, I mean, we started doing music together from like 13 to like 19, 20. You know what I mean? And by then I started traveling like to Cali. So throughout the years, I've connected with E40, Be Legit, Sir Mix-a-Lot, huge producers like Vitamin D, Jake One out in Seattle, DJ B Mello, Redskin. Like, some of these names are foreign to some people. Chocolate, which is like a huge soul singer. She's actually on tour with Bilal right now. Who else? Actually was in the studio with John Legend during the recording of Evolver. You know what I'm saying? So I've been around a lot of powerhouses. You know what I mean? I've gotten to write songs with Candace from Escape and so many other people that's right now really shining. You know what I mean? So it's just a matter of time, and it's a beautiful thing. Like, celebrities are celebrities to some people, but you know, like yourself, like you guys have a tremendous show. It's no different than something that's on a huge network. It's just, you know, the start of it all, and it's a beautiful thing.
Now, when you mention these names, they are East Coast, West Coast. How did you, like, in what time span were you able to to connect with these people? Like, how did that work for Nuff, Starr? How did it happen? What was your first encounter with being on one of these special projects?
Just intriguing. My most memorable one probably would be DJ AP was a huge DJ from Jersey, and there were these impact conventions that were going on. Like, a lot of people that's really heavy into hip hop or promoting themselves know things about like Jack the Rapper conventions and these huge DJ conventions that go on. I remember it was like he had these sudden impact, like little compilation mixtapes that he would drop right before the convention starts. And meeting Wyclef Jean was like one of the moments that had me in awe, because like I'm sitting right next to the dude, and this was about, I'll say early like 2002, and it was up in Sony Studios, and I met Jerry Wonder and his sister. I'm drawing a blank, I can't really remember her name right now, but that moment was when I realized that, yo, this is real, and at any time, you know what I mean, any of these people would hear me and just be like, yo, you got it, you know. But at that time, music and hip-hop artists were really like just starting to become businessmen in a major way. Like, now it's a total difference than a couple of years back, where they were mostly concentrated on the camp or the people around them. Now artists are really learning the game and branching out and grabbing other artists from different states and moving in a different light. But that was one of the most memorable moments, and that, you know, meeting Sir Mix-a-Lot, and me being from the East Coast, and I created such a buzz in Seattle, Washington, in Tacoma, and with this group I had out there called the Block Burners. We formed that group in 2001. So I was traveling like West Coast since maybe 99, 2000 is when it started, until like 2005. So I got a pretty good following out that way.
Okay. Okay, which brings me to my next question. Being that you have been in the game for a long time, and you've had the opportunity to work with different artists, producers at different levels, how you as a person, positive and negative way, feel that the industry has changed today? Like, how does it affect you positively and negatively?
Negatively, just feeling like sometimes people really be selling their souls. You feel me? Like I've been put in a couple situations where like all the bad things that you hear about the industry, it's true. You know what I'm saying? It's sad to say, but it's true. You know what I mean? The drugs, the sex, the homosexuality, like all of that goes on. And my journey has been this long because I didn't take those certain passes or advances to do certain things to get certain places. I fell back on it, and it hurt because it stagnates you a bit. But at the same time, right now all my music is at its truest form. You feel me? Like everything, I'm in control of everything. You know what I mean? And there's nothing better than that. Positive. Now you can be an individual and be accepted at a certain level until you reach that superstardom, and then that's when things change a little bit more. You know what I mean? But now people really aren't afraid to be individuals or go to the left. Me, it's not going to the left. Like, this is my everyday. Like, you would see me wake up in the morning and throw this on and go to the corner store. So it's like you got those people who are original and some people that want to do what the next man is doing just to get where he want to go. So positive is that people definitely ain't afraid to be themselves now, and the negative would be like just the BS that comes along with it. It's a lot of like just wrong things like the beef and all that. Like I always say, I do a huge radio show on Monday nights called Trap House Rocks. You know what I mean? I'm a part of a situation called Indie Republic, where there's all independent music stations, but internet radio. And I always tell the artists, I've interviewed from Razzcast to Charlie Baltimore to Meek Mills to Gunplay, and just we're on like our 35th show right now, and our ranks are like crazy.
Congrats.
But I tell all the artists that Marvin, you want to see Marvin Gaye beefing with Smokey Robinson and Teddy Pendergrass wanting to sneak Luther Vandross and steal his chain. Like hip hop and R&B has become this big spectacle or this wrestling match, and it's like it's no room for that. I mean, I survived the streets. Like I grew up doing so many different things, from gang banging to being a reckless juvenile, but I always was just an intelligent being. So it's like to see these grown people who are in situations greater than many who are out here struggling act the fool sometimes is ridiculous. You know what I mean?
I have to agree with you. Everything you said. I mean, I haven't been in the actual music industry, but as you said, we do hear the stories. Yeah. And for you to, for Nuff Starr to really sit here and say a lot of it is true, it shines light on being famous, being a celebrity, and actually what goes on behind the music industry. And one more thing, like he said, passing up the easy way. Yeah. Where people would say like selling your soul. You really appreciate it when you work hard for it. Yeah, and some of the artists too, they think like the glitz and the glamour and the videos, it's a business at the end of the day. Is that so?
It's definitely a business. It's 95% business, 5% entertainment. And some people really don't get that. Like I had the opportunity to work with so many new artists from Jersey and all across the United States. And it's just some artists, you see some people with that major drive and some people who really depend on you and what you're doing to promote them, and not even knowing. I learned just from Redman. I was like 13 years old, and not from meeting him personally, but I was watching one of those, I can't even believe I can't remember the name of the movie, but Russell Simmons' Def Jam, they did it in I believe Redman and them were at one of those Jack the Rapper conventions, and he was like, look, I'm out here with my promo tees and my CD myself. Like, I'm not sitting back waiting for somebody else to promote me. And I think a lot of people get the game twisted, where if 10 or 15 people feeling them, or they had the opportunity to get on a huge mixtape, they think they're like some overnight sensation, and they would rather you promote them or what you do than themselves do it. And that's what people got the game twisted at. You got to put in that work. You know what I mean?
Amen. You have to. Okay. So let's talk about this mix CD?
Well,
Or is
the
this or this the
EP,
EP? Okay. Before you explain, let me just introduce this. This is the Nuff Starr, the making of a legend, and it's called Versatility. I'll show the back as well. I had the chance to listen to this not once, not twice.
Did you appreciate it?
I actually loved it. I listened to it more than once, twice. I was still quite a few times. It's in my CD player right now in my car.
And it should be in yours.
So, just an overall, what is the making of a legend? What is this about? But without giving away the songs, because I have a couple of questions about the songs.
Making of a legend was basically, it's a cocky statement, you know what I mean? Like, I felt like I've been humble for so long that now it was time for me to show off a bit. Like, I was listening to Kiss FM one morning, and one Sunday morning leaving the studio late, and the pastor was like, don't be afraid to, like, I wasn't letting myself shine fully, so I was the type of dude that know I had it, but rather than flaunt it, I just, kind of let the next man shine. And making of a legend was just to let you know, like, I feel like I'm as legendary as Hendrix, as Marvin, and I'm talking about real musicians and artists. So on this actual project, which was supposed to be an LP, but we released the EP to make room for this new project. But it's rock, hip hop, soul, funk, house. You know what I mean? At its original form, not watered down or trying to do what somebody else does. You know what I mean? It's just what I do. You know what I mean? I listen to rock music. I grew up on rock. I grew up on pop. I grew up on hip hop. So I give you all of that. You know what I mean? And it's dope.
It's definitely dope. Like I said, I did have the chance to listen to it. The first song was Story to Tell.
I step between those my born of a king. Forcing my life, I don't wanna believe. Throwing me off course, but I wanna achieve. Being more than a gangster, pimp, hustler, thief. Being more than a scandalous heathen. Dealing with more than just streets, got a battle with demons. It's bigger than just me. What about FAMIL to the E? I'm trying to be the man that I was planning to be.
I don't know all the instruments, but was it like a trumpet or something in there? Because when I listened to the song, the beats reminded me of a story. Like I saw like a soundtrack. It was almost like this person was telling you where he was and where he is. It was like a foreshadowing type of thing going on.
Yeah.
So the music, the theme, it kind of went with the title, Story to Tell. Mm-hmm. Can you explain now? You did reference to having people, old men, quote, change your ways. You did mention some of the drug activity. It sounded like a little bit of paranoid with your friends at one point, not even being able to trust them. But then there was a positive outcome where you said, you can do it.
Yeah.
If you have to think about it, you will do it.
Yeah.
Can you just explain to us about that story and how deep, like, where does that come from?
The Story to Tell was sort of like when you, sometimes what I do is, I like to call it the ghetto gospel. You feel me? It's like when you go to church sometimes and you move more by someone's personal testimony than the actual message that the pastor is giving. Like, Story to Tell was my testimony. I mean, everything in it was so real. And it's like spiraling from speaking in third person to that confidence that sometimes you got to give yourself because you ain't getting it from somebody else. And my grandmother used to say, when you moan, the Lord hear you. So that's the reason why I be like, yes, I could be. You know what I mean? And it's kind of the things that I do to myself sometimes when I'm just in that zone. Like, man, yes, I could. I talk to myself. Not in the ways of a crazy man, but the ways of an intellect where sometimes you the only person that can get you right.
Amen.
You know what I mean?
Amen.
And that's what Story to Tell was about. Like, I feel really, and I want people to grow with me as my career goes on. Like, I'm one of the greatest storytellers, period. I could paint a picture so vivid. And I remember being like the age of 11 and a teacher told my mom that. Like, yo, this man is an incredible writer. And I remember maybe around my late teens, I was just thinking to myself, like, where do I get this from? And I reflected back on when I was growing up. My mom used to put poems on me and my sister's bedroom door for when you left the room and you closed the room door. As you enter it, you see a poem. When we closed it inside, there was a poem. And it was man, woman on her joint, and then it was black man, black woman on the opposite side. And that's where it came from, my mom. She's an incredible poet. She's an incredible just person. So that her light definitely shined on me.
So that was like instilled in you at a young age. So it basically enhanced your natural talent as well. Okay, so let me get to the second song.
Right.
Baby, I Found Out.
Yeah, I found out you're so jealous. Always investigating when I'm out with the fellas. Asking questions where I've been. Ain't nothing I can tell her, cause she always think I'm lying. Can't blame it, the boy fat. Get in the way, always searching through my ride. Looking for evidence of me sleeping with other dads. Can't go to the club, she show up with all the girls. Accusing me causing scenes, man, she only 19.
Now, when I finish talking about all three of these songs, you guys are going to know the true definition of versatility. Now, it talks about infidelity, the cheating, and how you fell in love with a girl, gave her your love, and then homegirl just, walked out. And it's like, is this something you personally went through? Or
without question.
It talks about, being involved with more than one person, and then her flipping the tables on you, accusing you, and where you at, where you been. And it's called Baby, I Found Out. What was that about, Zena?
I mean, I'm a ladies' man. Like, ladies love me, I love them. Period. But at the same time, I'm a gentleman. So it's like being caught in so many different worlds. Like, men, I feel like sometimes are not honest. I'm honest about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely not going to. I'm not a player at all, by no means. But I'm definitely a Renaissance man. And that Baby I Found Out was, to me, it was like the women always got an anthem. Where's the record for that dude who his chick just did him major dirty? He in the club, his man bringing him out that night trying to make him feel better. You know what I mean? Like, where's that song for him? Like, so that's what the Baby I Found Out was about, and I gave them 3 different scenarios. So it maybe the first verse would have been about me, and the second one maybe the next man can relate to, or the next one, but it was that anthem for the dudes, the heartbroken man to sing. Like, baby, I found out you wasn't the one for me, and feel good about it while they drinking. I'm part of it.
All right. And one more, I'm not going to go through all of them, but I'm going to go through one more, which is The Way I Am, the way I'm supposed to.
Girl, you're so fine with your sexy ass. Go. I'm explain something to you. Tonight I'ma do you like no one can ever do you. 12 blade, 12 ways, freak, I speak it fluent. In the mood for screwing, wanna know what move that you in. Lusting, touching.
And that was more of to me, a love song of how you are. You did say that you're romantic, and how you like to treat your lady and give her your love.
Yeah. So
Nuff Starr himself is a romantic guy. Yeah. So just tell us a little bit about this song. Where were you? May I ask, are you in a relationship? Did this love song spiral from somewhere?
But it spiraled from somewhere. I'm not afraid to be in love. Like, some dudes is afraid to love or be in love. I love being in love. So the way I'm supposed to was that record that I want to sing to my significant other. You know what I mean? It's like, you got so many records that say, oh, you got a fat this and you look so good, but it was a beautiful song. At the same time, it was me. You know what I mean? That's my best way to explain it.
No, it's okay. But Nuff Starr will be giving information about where you can get The Making of a Legend, Versatility, and also updates on where you can follow him, and also be able to connect with him and reach out to him. You seem like a very well-rounded guy.
I am.
And really quick, we are here. We're also going to be interviewing Ted, who's your producer and engineer.
Yeah.
How did you guys meet?
Everything. Maybe 2099. When I was about 14, 15, when I was running around the city making so much noise. There was a man by the name of Peter Garrison who was like a record promoter. And he used to work for a company called Frontline Marketing and Promotions. They were like huge on promo game, rapping vans and all that early in the game, like the mid 90s to maybe early 2000s. Excuse me. And me and Pete lost touch for a couple years, and there was a group from Paterson, New Jersey, FOD. They got signed to Nile Rodgers' company, which is from the band Chic. Nile Rodgers is huge. He signed these dudes from my hood. Who's promoting their record? Frontline Marketing and Promotion. I go to their video shoot, they invite me out, I'm on stage wild, and who I see? My man Peter Garrison, Screwdriver. And Screwdriver's like, yo, where you been? It's been like 5 years. Let me hear something. You know what I mean? That was his first thing. Let me hear something. Pull me to the side, skip bars. He like, look, I got a situation, I'm gonna put you in. And I said, I'm in a situation I need to get out of. So, long story short, Ted and Pete, they were homeboys, and they had planned on doing something really, really, really big. And I was their baby, being that they was gonna jump off with this company with me. You know what I mean? And he brought me to Ted, and it was a wrap since then, man. He was the brains behind it. Me and Ted was the music. You know what I mean? And then we lost him a couple years later, maybe a year and a half, 2 years after that, and you know, it brought us together even more tighter because we was the three amigos anyway. And those brothers nurtured me. They took me off the streets as far as mentally, and helped me definitely focus on my craft and getting other upcoming artists ready, and just everything. You know what I mean?
Okay, so really quick before we go, your style. Do you have a stylist?
I don't, but I am available for hire if y'all need one.
Because when I saw you, and can I touch this?
You can touch all of me.
Oh wow. It has, is this arms?
Yes, it has arms, legs.
Okay.
It's a fox.
This is different.
You know what I mean?
You have your own look. I like it. It's very
appreciate it.
different. I will tell you this. Meeting you tonight, if I seen you again, you're a memorable person. Being the making of a legend and being original is what we need.
Yeah.
I feel like we lack that. I feel like with some of New Jersey artists and other artists, yes, they do tend to fall in the same rhythm of what's already out there. And you artists need to understand that they want originality. They don't want another Lil Wayne. They don't want another Kanye or another Jay-Z. So the confidence comes within, and as Starr said, you can't look for someone else to make you. You have to make yourself and be confident and believe in yourself. Like I mentioned earlier, I feel like here the versatility, it stands out because I heard 3 completely different songs. The romance side of you, the story coming from the heart, and a situation that you're not ashamed to say, hey, I've been there. A girl kind of, played me, but it's real and it's real life, and you're not ashamed to say it. Before we leave, is there any advice that you would like to give to artists that are coming up, they're working hard and they're struggling? Is there anything that you can say to them right now as they're watching this?
Stay focused, determined, and keep God first, man. Definitely, when you believe in yourself, if you don't believe in yourself, nobody's gonna believe in you. And I got a quote that's probably gonna go down in history with all the other things I do. Like, you can be influenced by many things, but it don't mean anything if you ain't got your own to influence people with. You know what I mean? Period.
And where can we find Nuff Starr on Facebook or Twitter? And please, if you can give us the information to the radio show that you have, if people want to, look on the site and follow that as well.
You can find me at I am Nuff Starr on Twitter, Facebook Nuff Starr, or Cuddy Climax, Kutty Klimaxx. Monday night radio show, 10 to 12, Trap House Rocks on eventlevel.com, syndicated on 19 different stations. Trap House Rocks radio show. And True Vodka, the boy from Jersey, don't even got a major deal. We got our own situations, and I synced the major vodka deal, so you can catch me on the True Vodka situation real soon.
Okay. And again, this is New Music New Jersey. I'm your host, Apples, and
I gotta holler.
we interviewed. Thank you. The awesome and the legendary Mr. Nuff Starr.
Is it because a lot of things going on, and even when I feel alright, feel like things going wrong, I'm telling my unborn, you could be a lawyer or doctor, keep thinking beyond, cause this planet that we on is full of hopelessness, it's gone being other than the norms.
Look at me, from the bottom to the top, from the cradle to the block, gunshots, but what do you see? Only what's only outside now. The lonely nights cry, many tears high, so please, I'm not proud that I do all the things that I do, but I do them for y'all to see. That under any circumstance that you must take a stand, and you must be a man, take heed.